A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Amazing punchline.
Darren, why did you
Boom, man.
It's spook, guys. We gotta be scary. It's spooky month.
That's why I have a skeleton in a Santa costume.
They cannot see you.
Yeah, but
And
you can.
boom, man.
Happy October.
How could you do this to me, Puff Puff?
See, it's gonna be perfect. Welcome,
Foolish
to
mortals.
Nat One
With a haunted
Spectacular.
That's later.
Oh. Welcome to Nat One Podcast Spook episode number 1.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween month.
That sounded really funny through the mic.
We did.
It's the spooky month.
So,
As one Senior Palo would say.
after last week's incredibly important mission from the president of the world, I've received a new mission for us all today.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? What is that? When did we
Today.
start working for the president of the world, by the way?
It's more like a contract-based thing.
Oh, okay.
We get
Um,
paid.
Like, it's more of a contract-based thing. Get paid in exposure.
Yeah.
The president of the underworld has now contracted me. Yeah, well, us. Contacted me to contract us. The word sounded too similar there.
Play the lobster music.
What? I edit our Elden Ring video. There is no lobster music.
No, the original lobster meme, the blue lobster.
Oh, I was with Jordan, man.
Yeah, you know why you're with Jordan? Because you were doing that 30 minutes ago.
Mhm. All right. But seriously, the president of the underworld has asked us today, of the most awful people on Earth, at least in terms of like, I don't even know how you metric this stuff out, but like the worst people with the most limited means, because I'm not talking world leaders here.
That's a whole other category video.
Exactly, it is. That's a whole new one. But the worst people that are, we're talking about serial killers. Those people.
I think we should just become a tier list channel.
Agreed.
We've gone from serial to serial.
Exactly.
But
And now we have to figure we are going to be the ones that determine how well they would go in a fight, a one-on-one fight to the end, and in like an arena style fight in the underworld between their myriad punishments, which include Levi.
Oiled up, completely naked.
Yep.
Who wins the Fortnite Battle Royale twerk-off contest? That's punishment number 1.
Jordan, what are the other punishments?
I was gonna go with the Good Place reference and say penis flattening, but I think that one it might be.
They can have both.
Worse?
What else are they doing in the underworld? And they deserve it. All of them. They deserve both, all of them, except probably Dahmer. He probably doesn't get that first one.
Why? Because he'd win?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why.
I thought it was because he'd enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's why he'd win.
No, he has to sit on the sideline and watch. He's not allowed to participate. That's the punishment.
Or maybe it's a combination, and like he is receiving the second punishment while the first one is happening in front of him. Ouch.
Aaron, leave.
Oh, that's going in the quotes channel, bud.
I will transcribe what Taryn just wrote. Dahmer was dummy thick with 2 C's.
What is wrong?
La 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 la.
Okay, we went into this saying that we were not going to paint the. Is that positive or negative? What is wrong with you?
She's my waifu.
This is off to a great start.
All right, Levi. Well, you're doing the quotes channel. Jordan, rattle off the thing we truly, actually do believe about these people, and that we don't like them, and we're not glorifying them. Tell them.
Okay, the legal disclaimer for this episode. This episode is not glorifying any of the behaviors discussed here. All of the people that we are discussing are horrible, horrible, disgusting individuals, and this is purely for the bit and for the spooky vibes. And what we decided that the ultimate prize for winning this battle royale was more torture in hell. So
we didn't decide that. The president of the underworld decided that.
Per our instructions from the president.
The president of the underworld wanted us to tell him who the worst one was, so he could punish him more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not making light of the actions of these individuals. It is not a joke. But we are making fun of them because they deserve to be made fun of because they're horrible. And we would like to besmirch their names.
Exactly. Yes. Ridicule them more. Do not glorify them.
And we're not sponsored by any of them either.
Or anyone else. Except the president of the underworld.
We're gonna have to pick who he is. Company. Just like we pick. Who was the other one?
Will Arnett. How can you forget the president of the world?
I just know he's horny for Reese's peanut butter cups. That's all I know.
I'm very upset that you never liked my tweet about that, Levi.
You tweeted about it? I don't check Twitter. Wait.
I met the president of the underworld, and she's a woman.
Amazing.
She wears Prada.
Meryl Streep is the president of the underworld.
The secret.
Oh, sorry.
Now I just need to see if there's any movie that has Will Arnett and Meryl Streep in it.
I do not think so.
Which is kind of funny, honestly. But
coincidence?
Anyway. Yes,
never seen the two of them in the same place.
What do you mean I have a thing for the disembodied voice in the Reese's peanut butter commercials?
Serial killers, everybody.
Why did Taryn respond with "so true"?
But especially true. Ask anybody that knows us. If these people were around when they did their stuff and I was in any position of power, they would have received the absolute worst beyond what is legally acceptable.
So you shouldn't admit to that on the internet.
I don't care.
Okay.
Who's going to be out there and be like, I think they should have received a fair trial after all the stuff they did? Who's doing that? I may not agree with it, but I defend your right to kill several children. Who's out there? Let me see you. I think you're in trouble, bud. I think you're the one we gotta find.
Oh, we become a true crime podcast after this episode.
True crime is that I'm committing true crime against people that defend these serial killers.
As you should. Oh, so would you like me to introduce
report on Pertuset's crimes?
I need to introduce you to then the Tumblr trend of editing flower crowns onto pictures of serial killers. It's a very real thing that happened.
I just want to talk to him.
Yes.
I just want to talk to him. The people that made these, I just want to talk to him.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want.
He's known as the serial killer fan serial killer.
I think we should become a true crime podcast, though.
I don't know enough about true crime to do.
Once a month.
We should have podcast. Like a roulette where we do like common podcast tropes.
That could be like funny.
One episode. We
podcast
do one
season 3
not D&D podcast.
But anyway, Nat One season 3, by the way, I just realized is going to be called Nose if you use leet speak. But anyway,
I'm so ready for Nose. Year of the nose, baby.
Also, new great T-shirt. Who's ready for Nose? And it's just a nose. A nose with our logo like transparent on it.
I'll get right on that.
Nose, baby.
Yeah. Anyway,
I still need to make your dwarf T-shirt. I was gonna do that, and then I got sidetracked.
I thought of something that was uniquely us, but also would like appeal to the masses.
I thought it was funny.
Okay, so first up in the conversation for who would survive if you pluck them and place them in the middle of an open arena, no prep time. So assume they have no knowledge of each other unless they like lived past. So I guess they would like know by looking back, but that's it. Are we going to equip them with no weapons, I guess, or are we going to give them like their weapon of choice?
Fortnite Battle Royale. There are random weapons scattered throughout the battlefield.
I'm thinking more gladiatorial.
Gladiatorial, so we can sponsor them and give them weapons via money.
Ain't sponsoring.
Like the Hunger Games.
We're not doing serial killer Hunger Games.
I love the Hunger Games.
I love the Hunger Games simulator. It's so easy to just plug in whatever names you want.
Okay, this is a horrible joke. If we do serial killer Hunger Games, Dahmer has an unfair advantage.
What? What do you mean?
Oiled up.
No, I was going for the cannibalism angle.
Completely naked, oiled up.
Okay.
Who's winning the Hunger Games?
I'm hearing word from the president of the underworld, and she says that they get nothing. It's just their bare hands.
Bare hands.
Okay, just duking it out.
Yep.
Well,
and I assume hostility.
Okay. No. I would assume hostility from any of these individuals if I knew who they were, yeah.
Yes.
So, first up, plucked from the ball squisher. You know him from his day, and I honestly can't keep up with it because it feels like with this one that I'm getting into, I'm going to speak it up a little bit. Like, for a long time, it was a great mystery. Scotland Yard couldn't even solve it. That immediately gave it away for everyone listening. But it feels like ever since like 2015 or so, every week they're like, we just found out who actually was Jack the Ripper. and then they're like, oh wait, no, that was wrong, but now we actually did. And so like as far as like I don't know. I think we did figure it out, but every week it feels like it's changing.
Actually,
there are like
we
several
we didn't figure it out.
Okay.
I don't think that there has been because there were
I hate clickbait.
Lemino, if any of you know Lemino, he's a great YouTuber who does like really long documentary style videos that are really high production. He has a great video on Jack the Ripper and why we don't know who it is. Go check it out.
Yeah, I need to check that out because clickbait has screwed me because every single time they have it'll be a news article or like something from BuzzFeed that says we now know who it is. And then it'll first say the name and then it'll say, we found out there's a strand of hair once in England.
My favorite theory is that it was an actual doctor, or I think that there's one the theory that Jack the Ripper could have been a woman.
Yeah.
But we don't know who Jack the Ripper is, but I'm assuming that the president of the underworld does know who Jack the Ripper is.
Yeah, and it's them right there. Mm-hmm.
You?
No.
No, that wasn't a you. That was a, oh my God, that person.
Oh, like they do in movies whenever they don't want to reveal it, or TV shows.
Exactly.
It was you all along?
Yeah.
Credits.
I should have known it was you.
And like there's like a half silhouette of like their side and arm, like real up close to the camera. Yeah.
That's what the whole fight looks like for us because we don't know who it is. And who they're up against, something you wouldn't expect. Also, I feel like I should, well, I'm not going to share the image, but just know on the tier list, their name is, or not tier list, but the bracket, their name is Jack Rip. On the other side, we have somebody so detestable. And to this day, I know there's been plenty of information about them, and we've like heard a lot about them since this has happened. And I still don't know why they really did it. They're kind of a freak. They're messed up.
That's why he did it.
Which is weird, but I mean, I guess these people wouldn't be here if they weren't that way. But anyway.
Sorry, I got blinded.
I saw that.
Blind.
No one heard it, but it was really funny. He looked like that one scene from Indiana Jones. But anyway, this guy, known for doing several bad things to minors, we have Clowny, John Wayne Gacy himself.
Killer clown.
Mm-hmm. Completely changed the scene for clowns, sadly.
Wow.
Well, I feel like they kind of already were that way, but this definitely did not help.
I would also like to point out that he was a really bad clown too. Other than the murder, like he would like perform like theatrical wise, he was a shitty clown.
I'd believe it. Although frankly, I don't know any good clowns except first Pennywise.
Oh, Tim Curry?
Yes, I couldn't think of his name. He was a great clown.
Mm-hmm.
A matchup people didn't expect.
Nope. Why is there a picture of John Wayne Gacy with Rosalind Carter?
I don't know.
That's President Carter's wife.
I figured because I don't know anyone else named Rosalind Carter.
Yeah.
But I do know someone else with the Carter name. But anyway, I do have to say,
what are we thinking, gang?
Well, in the hit anime Record of Ragnarok, Jack the Ripper is actually a fighter in it. And the story for him in that is that his mom was a lady of the night. And she kept like hoping that his father would return and take care of the kid because his father was apparently a wealthy statesman. And the father, eventually she tracked down the father and he just like beat her and left. And I was like, that's not my kid. And so then the mom got spiteful towards the kid. And so then he was like, okay, I'm going to start beating up, doing what I do.
Nope.
Cool motive, still murder.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
really funny how they did it in that. But anyway.
What do we think here? If they're oiled up, no weapons. I need to stop. I need to stop with the
oiled up thing.
Pertuset's fault. He introduced me to that meme.
Did I?
So we can assume that Jack the Ripper, a Victorian man, presumably, might be a woman, might
Victorian person either way.
Victorian person. They have to live in some of the worst living conditions that the world has ever perceived.
Black lung.
That makes a person pretty resilient, I think.
I think it makes them pretty weak. They're going into combat with disadvantage on everything, bro.
If you live into like your 30s, though, in the Victorian era, you're pretty lucky, I think. You gotta be resilient at that point, although we don't know.
I'm
gonna
have to agree.
30s.
You're lucky, but you're worn down, bro.
I don't know.
I
don't know. But then there's a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Disadvantage on stealth checks from the shoes.
I'm thinking like he lived a very normal life. He had access to plenty of stuff. He's a bit older, but he was a big burly man. And this is a no weapons knuckle drag out.
We don't know that because we don't know if he was a big. What if he was a big burly man? We gotta account for what if
we don't know anything about Jack the Ripper. Is what
Jack
he's saying.
the Ripper is everything all at once.
The Oscar-winning movie?
No,
but he's not, or she's not.
He is a Victorian child. But at the same time...
That definitely worsens his chance.
But at the same time, a behemoth of a man who grew up in the Victorian countryside and never had a smog enter his lung.
A smog? I thought you said a smog.
They can't be both a child and... We have to pick what are the parameters we're following for Jack the Ripper?
We don't know. Because we don't know who he or she was. What if he is the entire conceptualization of England itself?
Then he definitely loses. Even harder. Listen. For this whole thing, all I'm hearing is Jack the Ripper is something London. It's over. Not nearly as bad as Clowny.
Yeah, but then that means the clown wins.
At being the worst.
He's such a bad clown, though.
Exactly. He's getting his punishment.
Okay.
Being a clown. Yeah, no, I'll vote for Mr. What's his Pogo? That's his clown name.
Also, everybody loves the fun fact about his painting, but I'm not even going to bring it up. It's like he broke his toe in that scene type stuff.
Did you know he broke his toe in that painting?
What? Okay. Next up. This is a fight, much like Freddy versus Jason, that is highly anticipated. Jordan's nodding. She's not happy. But I think it's true. Everyone's been wondering this. Everyone's been thinking about it.
I was shaking my head at the comparison of it being like Freddy versus Jason.
Not like the movie, because that kind of sucked dog water, but it was a good idea. Right?
I think it was a good idea, yeah.
Just failed in execution. And so we're not going to, because boom, on one side, you have the heartbreaker that for some reason that people to this day fantasize about, and I'm gonna say not nice things about them. Levi, introduce him. Introduce the person.
Probably actually oiled up this time. We got good old Jeff. I don't actually, is it spelled Jeff like that? Is it like Geof? Okay. No, it's not. Okay, Jeffrey.
It's the normal Jeff.
Jeffrey
say no.
Damir.
I'm gonna talk about the other one first, because
Oh,
that's
the other
the
one
one
first?
I thought we were going Bundy first, but
Oh, Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
don't cheer for Ted Bundy.
No, I'm not. I mean, like, yeah, they're gonna fight. You know, it's like being at a what are those called? A demolition derby, and you're just kind of excited for the destruction.
Yeah.
You're not really choosing sides. You just want to see someone walk out in a body bag. I guess not really walk out, but still. Also,
Yeah,
Terrence
I
True,
don't-
Jeff the Killer. But
I'm over here not knowing too much about serial killers. All I know
know
is
a
they made a
little.
show about Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's a
is
topic for another
Controversial.
Yeah, it's. I watched like
What?
2 episodes and then dropped it. So I guess I shouldn't talk too much about it. But even putting that aside, Dahmer has, like, these guys are polar opposites. Bundy was the charismatic killer somehow. Again, very
Yeah, I'm looking at a
American
picture of
Psycho.
him right now. He looks like that guy from Full House.
I don't
There are
watch Full
4 of
House.
them. 3?
There are 4 Ted
No,
Bundys?
Whatever happened to predictability? One second. I'll figure. Keep talking. I'll figure it out.
I'm sick, audience. They're making me lose my mind.
Bob Saget.
Oh,
He looks like young Bob Saget.
my entire search history is just gonna be serial killers.
you're not the first.
The
know.
milkman, the paperboy.
It's very, very common nowadays. We're not helping it, but that's okay, because we're making fun of them.
I hate that you're kind of right. He looks like, I can see where you're getting Bob Saget.
Right? It's like the nose and the forehead, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he
Although Mans has a unibrow.
see. Here's the thing about him: his reason for killing, not at all justified. None of these people are, but it actually, like, he killed people and it had a reason behind it. Unlike Clowney, which that's not the time for him, but still, you know what I mean? He had a horrible, messed up reason, but he had a reason and a what do you call that?
I would say he
modus
had a
operandi.
motive. Yeah, he had a motive, not a reason.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A modus operandi, an MO.
Yes.
Hmm.
As compared to not Ted Bundy, as compared to Jeffrey Dahmer.
He was, I mean, he had 0 charisma. He's like described as just being a weird nerd all the time.
He was really creepy.
Yeah.
He was also very much a documented sociopath.
Yeah. So,
although most of these people are, but Dahmer, very, very much so.
yeah, everyone knew before he even got his stuff going. True, Taryn. It's hard to say though, because I feel like it's actually this is a lot like Freddy versus Jason. Listen, because their weaknesses are like polar opposite of each other.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, well, actually, more like Dahmer's just going into this with a straight up advantage. Because, like, Ted Bundy would be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And they'd see Jeffrey Dahmer, and he'd be like, "Whoa, you're not my mom," and he just wouldn't care.
If
But
Ted Bundy was a serial killer in the modern day, people would give him the title of the Rizzler, probably, I bet.
God, I would hope not.
You know they
Oh
would.
my God.
You can't say you can't. You're saying you would hope not because you know the truth. You feel it in your heart. They would
I'm in
call him
denial.
the Rizzler.
I'm not. The only thing I'm feeling in my heart right now are palpitations.
Tumblrites would call him the Rizzler. That's where the term would have originated from if Ted Bundy was a 21st century serial killer.
I can't even defend Tumblr in this situation because I know you're correct.
You can
I
get
have
rid of
seen the evidence.
the words in this situation, and this phrase works. Yeah, but like Dahmer, and again, I don't know how much of it was true from the show and from his reality. I don't know. But if what we are to believe is true about Dahmer, he would have seen Ted Bundy and been like, "Hey, we're just gonna watch a movie real quick." Okay, just gonna watch a movie.
And he would have drugged him and put his head in the freezer.
Yeah. So I think Ted Bundy is gonna lose this out of sheer disinterest.
Well, Ted Bundy's game is like the long game, right? That's the thing. So I have to agree with you, is because I feel like Ted Bundy would think he's getting Dahmer, and then Dahmer would just like beat him over the head with a shovel,
Well,
like
but
2 seconds after he
but
sits down on the couch.
Dahmer doesn't fit his profile though. So I think Pertuset's right. There would be no reason for him to target.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
what if, per the rules of the oiled up Fortnite Battle Royale,
Yeah.
That is not
because
the title
they're
of this video.
because they're matched
Wolfsburg.
together, that is like what's happening is like they think they're each other's MO so that they will kill each other.
Ooh, okay. If we do that.
Then no, because Bundy's still at a disadvantage because his whole ploy played on sympathy.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Dahmer's
saying.
a sociopath.
Yeah, I still think Dahmer would win in this situation, but I'm just saying like maybe that's a rule stipulation we could do going forward. It gives them motivation to actually do the battle royale. Their brains have been modified by, who did we say the CEO of the underworld was? Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
President.
she has
someone else.
made them in their heads. They see them as like their perfect target.
I can get down with that. Okay. So there's the evidence. As it turns out in the end,
Starts with 1.
Jason wins. Spoilers.
I've never watched the movie. You actually did just spoil that for me.
This is making me think of, there's a song that I really like by Penelope Scott. It's called A Lot of True Crime. It's about listening to like true crime podcasts. Well, and there's a line in there that's making me think of this about how like Ted Bundy wasn't shit.
What?
What is the disbelief? I'm telling you.
I don't know what Pertuset's disbelief is. That's why I'm confused.
I don't know.
I'm an old soul. There's a song about watching too much true crime.
No, not too much true crime, just being a fan of true crime. It's a whole thing because there's also fun like media, society, entertainment fact. The large majority of true crime like viewers and watchers and people that consume that kind of content it's a mainly female dominated demographic for that kind of content. And so the song is about like the actual reason why a lot of women listen to true crime is not because it's like, ooh, eked out, like spooky. It's because you want to listen to what other people got wrong and be prepared. And so that's what the song is. Penelope Scott is saying that she could have taken Ted Bundy in a fight.
But statistically, she probably couldn't have.
It's a good song. It's a good song. That's
media's gone too far. When we're okay, that's a whole nother topic. But I'm angry. You've made me angry. Anyway, next up,
we get a mad episode next episode again. This time it's not based on D&D.
She's also making fun of serial killers. That's the whole shtick of the song.
I'm not. What's the argument?
Killing a cereal.
Even bad people like dogs.
Especially the Son of Sam.
Okay.
What are they gonna do? Demonetize me?
No, that's one where
We're
they
gonna
do
canceled.
something to your channel, like shadow ban you. Okay, next up. is Ed Gein.
I don't know this one.
He is somebody that a lot of people don't actually know, like, his name. His name's not very famous, but he actually, like, everyone knows his deeds more than what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very famous.
How do you spell it?
E-D,
Gein, I want to say.
yeah, or I-E-N, but I'm pretty sure you're right. It's E-I-N.
Yeah.
E-A-E-I-O.
Mm-hmm. He is the one, I'm pretty sure, well, he inspired Leatherface.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at his list right now on Wikipedia of his confirmed crimes. Wow, this is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's pretty messed up. Not very many victims, but he's messed up.
Yep.
Very, very Bundy-like.
Mm.
Yeah, looking at all of these is just making me feel aggressively icky.
True crime! Anyway.
Well, no, like, looking at, because I have the Wikipedia pages pulled up for some of it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, ugh, I hate this.
It's pronounced goon?
No.
No. No.
What do you mean by this, Taryn?
Do we ever know what Taryn means?
And his opponent is someone I'd never heard of until, like, recently. He's been, like, making an appearance in public stuff, like TV shows, which surprises me. I mean, also, firstly off, looking at his repertoire, I don't even know why anyone cares about him. He's definitely got to be bottom of the barrel serial killer. But he's getting popular for some reason. And that is the Night Stalker.
The walk-in killer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen this guy either.
That one I don't know very much
The
about.
Valley Intruder. That sounds like a Mandela catalog enemy.
He was in California. I can't remember what part, either LA or San Fran, maybe San Diego.
I would say probably the Valley.
Based off
I don't know where that is.
Based off of his name, I'm assuming what he would do.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. But he also didn't kill very many people, and he was also just a weirdo. I mean, like most of these people.
You know,
True, Taryn. That is how their names kind of sound.
psychiatrist Michael Stone describes him as a made psychopath as opposed to a born psychopath.
Oh. So we're seeing this is a symbolic fight, much like the last one, which was Freddy versus Jason. This one is nature versus nurture.
Oh, I was gonna say Alien versus Predator, but
I don't think so. I think that's the next one.
oh, the next one. Okay.
But yeah, because we have Ed Gein, who was a by nature horrible person. Because I mean, just look at what he did. Yeah, you can't you don't get that way by being nurtured. I mean, it'd be kind of hard, I think, to even do that. But the Night Stalker, he developed his way.
Oh God, this is. I mean, like, we went into this knowing these are bad people, but man,
I'm so icked out right now.
I'm not looking at the Wikipedia pages. I just know mostly what they did. Like, I know the vague idea of what they did.
I know a lot of it too, and I have not accessed this knowledge in a hot minute.
I'm just trying to look it over to be like, who do I think would win?
In a fight?
I'm
that's
power
actually a tough one
right now.
That's actually a tough one.
Don't power scale to serial killers.
We're trying to figure out.
They got to fight in the pit.
We're putting them in there. We're trying to figure out who's gonna beat the other one.
Ed Gein has that like cold and like definitely would kill without hesitation type beat, which I mean I guess all these people kind of would, but like he really does.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah, I know, right?
Terrifying.
Kind of looks like Mama June's husband from the Honey Boo Boo show.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember his name, but Sugar Bear, that was his name. The Night Stalker, he's like got that young what do you call it, vitality?
Riz?
Well,
no,
I mean more like vitality, but but is that enough to match the sheer cold, relentless killing of Ed Gein? I don't know. If American Horror Story taught me anything, the answer is no. But American Horror Story has not taught me anything.
See, most of what the Night Stalker did was he got, not all of them, but a lot of them seemed to be very old people.
Yeah.
So it seems like, honestly, he might have just been going for the people that couldn't really fight back.
Exactly.
So I think that Mr. do you have like a special name? I don't think he does. He doesn't.
No, see, his name is
just,
very...
Yeah.
Oh, the Mad Butcher is one they gave to him.
No.
Eddie. One's just Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah.
I think Eddie would have this one.
He scares me more, certainly.
Yeah, he kind of has that vibe of like
John serial killer.
Just being in his like mere presence is very off-putting, and you're like, by being around, like you feel like even though you know he's a dangerous person, he could still like get you, right? Like even if you're aware and mentally prepared that he's a dangerous person. That's what I feel like about him. So I feel like he's got this one.
Ability.
Yeah, I think he's got this one in the bag. What is this? Potential security issue detected. Ban this person. They're trying to hack us.
Chat, is this real?
What?
Taryn is being a nuisance.
Where'd my phone go? Wait, what happened?
Taryn.
It's in the Zoom chat.
Oh.
He put a web P. I have not opened it, and I'm not going to.
Click it. It says potential security issue detected.
Taryn, stop.
Okay. The next one. The next one. Now this one, we kind of pulled it out of left field a little bit. But these two, I mean, when you think of these two people, you don't even really think of them like serial killers. They are, by definition, they are. But you don't really think of them that way. They're kind of bigger than what that is. And one of them had like a connection to nature and like a desire to return to a simpler time and just hunt and gather. The other one, however, represents the fallibility of our current progress, much like the alien and the predator.
Yep.
Actually, switch those in terms of like
the predator and the alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, first off, we have the one that I'm still pretty sure has not been named, and is known for doing a bunch of little random missions and leaving little hints and trails for authorities because he was so I don't know, mysterious. We have the Kodak killer. Actually, I think that's a real thing, so I'm going to go with the Zodak killer, like I originally was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we still haven't figured out what's up with that guy. There was a single sketch.
He does not look like Ted Cruz. I don't get it.
I think it's funny because I think he did before Ted Cruz really embraced the beard and stuff.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
Which I think.
I also don't think that Ted Cruz is smart enough to be the Zodiac killer. Hot take, but
that's what they want you to think, Jordan.
There may be a whole ruse,
and this is why you would get got by Ted Bundy.
No, I think we've established I would beat the shit out of Ted Bundy.
I can't remember which one was an American Horror Story Hotel, which, by the way, is the best season. Fight me. Anyway.
I actually haven't seen that one. I stopped watching after Freak Show.
Versus, again, this is someone that people really don't really think about as a serial killer, because he really more embodies an idea. Kind of like Scum, like the Scum women who technically, or the one leader of Scum that technically was a serial killer, but a lot of people don't think of her that way.
Yeah.
We have the Unibrow.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for mankind.
Mr. Manifesto himself, the one that popularized leaving a whole bunch of description about why you did it.
He also popularized leaving a bunch of other little things as well in mailboxes, but we're not going to talk about that.
I think this is a pretty open and shut case.
Is it?
I think it is.
Taryn.
Shut up, Taryn.
That one was good.
Yeah, I know. That's why. I mean,
but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
well, no, yeah, I think I see the track you're going on now. I think I do, because I mean, Uncle Ted did get caught, and the Zodiac killer's never been found. We don't know anything about them
One
or
of
who
the
they
few
are.
successful ones, yeah.
Yeah, they are the one who got away. So like, they're probably the best at this horrible. What do you call it? I don't want to say it's like a hobby, but I don't want to call it a profession either.
I don't know.
Track of life.
Yeah.
They became very good at doing very bad things to people.
Yes, he's probably been the best at doing the bad things out of all of them, because no, we've never gotten to him.
He also didn't really
Yeah.
limit himself to an MO. He kind of killed indiscriminately. He was doing it more just to screw with the authorities and get away with it.
And Kazinki really had an MO. He had a very specific reason he wanted to do things, which I think is his weakness.
Exactly. Not only a specific reason, but also a specific way, which I don't think he can do in this fight.
No, because he's not going to know where he is.
And
He's
there's
going to
no
be disappearing
mailboxes.
around. There's
well, I mean, I think they gave him one, but I don't even know how he got that here.
That's just his sheer anarcho-primitivist like aura. It just spontaneously spawns mailboxes if he doesn't have one within his presence.
This would be the moment where I would tell you what some people like the actual ideology he is, but I can't remember the name of it. It's a really weird one. It's got like 3 like
I'm on the
terms
Wikipedia
behind
page.
it.
I might be able to find it.
It's like post-somethingist. It's basically a step higher than anarcho-primitivism. But anyway.
Green anarchism is what Wikipedia calls it.
And Wikipedia doesn't
Deep
know.
ecology.
Nope.
Radical environmentalism. Bioregionalism. Debate on violence.
See, this is just adding to it, though. What he did was awful, but he did it in an attempt for a better thing. Zodiac Killer did it for fun.
Yeah.
Which just makes him worse and deserving of being sent further towards Mega Heck.
Yep.
Push him on there.
That is what we decided was the consequence, was being sent to Mega Hell. The consequence for winning this competition.
We were calling it the worst, like, Uber underworld, but I think at this point we should just be saying it's just hell. It's just straight up hell.
It's Mega Hell. It's worse hell.
Yeah. Now we're back to the top of the round. We have significantly fewer fighters. We know there's far more serial killers, and they all deserve to get ridiculed. Trust us. But it came to a point where, like, you were comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah.
And also, there's just too many. You're comparing every apple to every orange. Which apples win, by the way. But anyway, next we go back to the top. We're back at Clowny versus Dami.
Cloudy McClouderton.
Don't say the last one again.
Why?
It just sounded very odd.
Homie.
Thanks.
Marge Simpson has entered the chat.
Marge, who are we going to send to hell, Marge?
Have they done that one yet? Have they done that episode yet?
Next Treehouse of Horror.
So we've already established their power system.
Yep.
I don't know, guys. Thoughts?
Well, I got a lot of those. But let's see. I mean,
I feel like I don't know, they're pretty evenly matched because also their victim like profile is pretty similar.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking. Wait.
I don't know, as much as I don't know, because I want Dahmer to go to Mega Hell. I want all of them to go to Mega Hell. But I feel like Gacy might be able to snap Dahmer like a toothpick.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because I was small.
In a hand-to-hand fight, like
oiled up.
John Wayne Gacy is still like bigger and burlier than most of these contestants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might have it just on raw power in this one. The oil isn't going to help Dahmer. Oh my god.
I need that
soundbite. My auto tune turned on there for a second.
I need that soundbite.
Oh,
I'm putting it in the Discord.
The oil isn't going to help Dahmer with this one though.
I feel, especially true if we go by earlier precedent of like we said that they look like they're victims, but like before it was like Dahmer could have killed Ted Bundy because like Ted Bundy wouldn't see what he would in Dahmer. But now Dahmer's gonna look at John Wayne Gacy and be like, "Ew, I'm not fighting that."
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I think the only way I would see it is like if we ran this fight 100 times, 20 of the times Dahmer would win, maybe 10 times, because he would bite off like John Wayne Gacy's ear or something.
Yeah.
Very
Mike
Tyson-y, yeah. But
I thought you were going to say something other than ear.
That too.
He probably would. He probably would.
He would.
I don't know how they'd get in that scenario in the first place, but I mean, yeah, I guess.
If you're running it 100 times, there's a lot of possibilities.
That's true.
And it is also Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
It is especially impressive given it's been flattened, but
more surface area?
Folded 1,000 times. Glorious Nippon steel.
What's the one? Death by 1,000 cuts or something?
Yeah.
Death by 1,000 crunches. So Clowney gets the kill on this one.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. He's tearing it up.
Dahmer
So now
out for the count. I don't think we should say that. I don't think we should use that descriptor for the. Well, I mean, they are other serial killers, so I guess it's okay.
I'm wondering who's going to win the next one, though. This one is actually I feel like it's going to be very tough, especially barehanded. Now we have Ed Gein versus Klondike Killer. I know, right?
See, Eddie, you can look at him and you can just see he's got the raw power of an early 20th century blue-collar American male.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me, Jordan. I saw that little smirk you did when I said that.
Listen, I'm just saying Vikings.
And then again, we don't know anything about Dahmer. Not Dahmer. What the hell? I have his tab open right now, so I immediately read his
looking
name.
at the
We don't know anything about the Zodiac Killer. So like he could be a burly man or not.
This
is the Jack the Ripper problem all over.
Yeah.
If we trust the descriptions that have been provided, it seems like he was relatively large.
Yeah.
Not very large, but larger than average.
But again, we also gotta say that the Zodiac Killer was successful. He was never apprehended. He knew how to get out of a bad situation.
Mm-hmm. It does start to get tough now, because the Zodiac Killer also largely used like ranged weaponry for his stuff. I think he had a few melee, but mostly ranged.
Mm-hmm.
However,
whereas, Eddie seems to have been trying to get in close to people.
Mm-hmm.
But also most of his victims were like helpless people.
True.
Largely.
True.
So it's tough. It's tough.
He was armed with a .22 caliber rifle, Eddie. But we're not arming them in this one, are we? We're not arming them.
No.
Doesn't matter. Too much oil slipped out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Greased up.
Got squished. Got hit by one of the machines.
Yep.
It's like the
glorious Nippon steel.
The pneumatic press in the Lego.
Yep.
Lego man. Boing. I don't know.
What are we thinking?
Jordan,
gang?
What are your insights on this fight?
I don't know. Ed Gein really scares me. That's kind of where I'm getting stuck, because I cannot form an not unbiased, but I can't, like, he freaks me out real bad.
So is that a point in he's worse, or is that a point in he loses?
I think that's a point in he's worse. Well, because like we were saying, he's a major creep. You can see in his face he is evil incarnate. And I think the fact that the Zodiac Killer is such an abstract concept, kind of like Jack the Ripper, is a pro and a con.
What if?
Oh,
what if
They join forces.
No,
I knew that was gonna happen at
that's
some point.
not
and
what I was
figured
gonna
it
do.
was gonna be this
Actually,
one. I actually figured that it was gonna be Ed Gein, and you were gonna try to pair up Ed Gein and the Unabomber.
that's not what I was gonna do. I was not planning on pairing anyone up for this. I was gonna say, what if the Zodiac Killer's so good at getting away that he just like escapes? He gets out, and then Gein wins by default.
Maybe.
But then the
there's-
demons catch him and send him to Mega Hell anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's later.
Losers bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There was something I was gonna say about and the Zodak, but I can't remember what it was anymore.
Because if the Zodiac Killer is so smart, what if he looks at Ed and he's like, "I'm not scrapping with that," and then gets runs away?
Oh yeah, I was going to bring up that like if we go back to like their crimes, like what Ed Gein did was like just all around evil, bad, and like I mean both of them were, but like especially he was like, I'm doing just a bad thing because I'm a weird dude and I'm gonna do it for a bad reason. Zodiac Killer was like, I'm going to kill people to challenge you, Batman. Solve my riddle or 3 people explode.
Why does this keep becoming the Riddler?
He really was though in real life.
Yeah, no,
It's just
I know.
there was no Batman, just Commissioner Gordon.
Maybe that's what he's been waiting for to reveal himself after all this time. Maybe there needs to be a
Batman?
superhero to chase him down.
Maybe.
Somebody get Will Arnett on the phone.
So I'm looking at this, I'm like, Zodiac Killer, his crimes, bad. He harmed people. Immediately, just bad. But Ed Gein, really bad.
He overkill. Like way. Oh, all of it is
Ed Gein
overkill, but that was
is
just oh my god.
Ed Gein literally is take off your skin personified.
Mhm.
It freaks me
But
out
he's
so
moving
bad.
on.
I hate this.
And I'm gonna make a losers bracket while we're going because I think it'll be funny. So now it comes down to the final one before the championship. Now it's Clowny versus Ed Gein. Ooh, that's a tough one. 2 weirdos that completely changed horror. One made Pennywise, the other made Leatherface. The often expected but never received fight in film, unlike Freddy versus Jason.
Pennywise versus Leatherface.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, man. I still feel like Gein is
He's
there's something
he's too
about
bad.
him, man.
He's horrible.
Like I feel like we were putting them in this space together, and like Gacy would be trying to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and like trash talking him up, and Gein would just be standing there staring at him
Yeah,
in silence.
that is how it feels.
And then like
deny.
they go and Gein, like it's just over in moments. Like Gein just has him,
Like you don't even see it happen.
and it's done.
I feel like you'd see it. It would just be him like bashing
Yeah,
Gacy, and he'd be unable to like get up.
yeah,
And it would not stop.
Mhm.
yeah. And then he makes him into a nice taxidermy clown.
Talk about a fatality. Mortal Kombat's gotten weird, huh? They reset the universe. This is whew.
Oh,
But the thing is
that-
that I agree with you though.
I think we're saying Gein wins.
because also the thing for me about it is like Pertuset just said how like they changed horror, but the horror of the clown for that you had to make Pennywise into like an eldritch being to actually make it scary instead of it just being he's a clown. But Scarve or Leatherface is just the guy wearing leather on his face, and that's creepy enough. So it doesn't have to have any of the extra like supernatural stuff with it. He can just be a guy that already exists. So I think that speaks volumes as
That
to
is true.
the power that good old Eddie has.
Leatherface was basically just Ed Gein, but larger and a bit dumber,
Yeah.
probably. Speaking of which, how many people playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game? How's that going? Is it still good? People like that?
I've been seeing people playing it all the time on Steam.
Mhm.
I don't know anything about it. I've never looked at it.
I watched it. It's Dead by Daylight, but better, I think.
Oh, okay, that's good.
All right. So Ed Gein is the current winner. Now, I also did devise a loser's bracket if we want to see who would go up against him, but it might be simpler to just say, does anyone we've mentioned beat him?
No,
I don't know.
he's
I don't know.
terrifying and horrible, and he deserves to go to
I
Mega
think
Hell.
we've determined that what we think is the worst serial killer is Ed Gein.
I told you guys, he scares me the worst out of any of them.
He needs a
He freaks
name
me
like
the
these
fuck out.
people have. He really needs a name.
I
And
think that makes him scarier that he
doesn't have
one.
That's true.
He's
makes
not
it
been
worse.
like pop culturized.
Yeah,
he
he's
hasn't
so
been
bad he doesn't have Tumblr
transformed.
stands.
He's just evil.
Yep.
Yes. Which is good. I'm glad as a human society we can all unite on that he's so bad that no one likes him.
This is the part where we get someone in the comments. It's like, actually, I'm a
goonie.
I'm a gooner. No, don't use that word. Don't use that word. I don't know if either of you know what that word means, but
No.
it's an Urban Dictionary phrase.
I'm not looking that up,
It's
and I will probably bleep that.
It's an innuendo. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's not like a bad like murder someone thing, but it's like a sex.
I get the point. Yeah. All right. And now we have to have our winner from the cereal bracket fight this guy in Mega Heck.
What? Whole wheat is going
Total?
to Mega Hell? Total whole grain?
Where it belongs.
What? But it beat the president of the world.
Did it? Or did the president of the world throw the fight?
Doesn't that make him the protagonist? The protagonist can't lose. They don't know that you're giving me a look. He's giving me a look, guys. He's like looking at me funny. He says eyebrows kind of twitching a little bit. Actually, I think he might be the Ed Gein we made along the way.
And I think that's it. Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!